I'm Andrea Doyle. I'm the owner of Doyle Solutions, and I'm a workplace mediator, conflict manager, author and presenter. And in this video, I'm talking about how to manage staff when they're crying at work. What do you do when an employee starts crying during a one-on-one meeting? Do you A, finish the meeting quickly because crying makes you feel awkward? B, hand them some tissues and wait until they're ready to keep going? C, remember to never talk about that topic again with this employee? Or D, offer to coach them in an area that they are uncomfortable with, which is bringing on the tears. I was recently undertaking a discovery session when the team manager identified to me to be aware that the person following their team member may cry during the one-on-one session I had with them. And I did a little bit of questioning to ask why, and she explained, well, this happened regularly in her one-on-ones with him. Now, when I said, well, crying doesn't bother me, Betty, the manager, was surprised. But then I was surprised that Betty was surprised. Over my 10 years of mediating, and more years as a high school teacher before that, and as an HR manager as well, I've come to work out that there are people who will cry because it suits them, and then there are people who cry because there's something impacting them. So far, I've realised that people will cry because of a medical condition, because something going on in their private life is impacting their well-being, that something going on in their work life is impacting their well-being, or they're not wanting to talk about a particular topic, and perhaps it might be performance related. But more recently, I've added another one to that list: having a crush on your boss. I think this is a tactic that somebody has been using as a way to get extra time with their manager. For the first time during a mediation and the discovery session, I had this thought pop into my mind that Terry was crying in the meetings with Betty, his manager, to gain some extra attention. Now, I'm not trained in this area, but with over 25 years experience in the workforce, considering this is the first time that I'd had that thought, I gave it some serious consideration. Now, it's important you know which type of crying may be presented to you from one of your employees, to make sure that if it's a tactic to avoid something, that you manage it differently to if it is a genuine case of crying because of something upsetting that person. I've found that people who cry for genuine reasons will, after they've had a bit of a cry, will try to control their crying and join the conversation again. I find that they do that quicker than other people who are crying to avoid a discussion. They're not in such a hurry to finish their crying. They're wanting to see what impact it's going to have on the person they're crying in front of. So how can you tell if the crying that you're observing is a tactic or if it's genuine? So the steps that I follow are, I let them know that it's okay to cry, I hand them some tissues, and I might even go and get them a glass of water. So it's those 3 steps. Oh yes, there is a 4th one. Then I wait. So what did I do when I had this thought about Terry crying because he wanted to spend more time with his boss? Because I suspected that he had a crush on her? Well, I recommended that he be coached in an area of leadership in which he was lacking. In the development of Terry's leadership skills, with somebody else coaching him in the organisation, would give him an opportunity to identify to the business, was he really serious about being a leader? Or was this a strategy that he was using to simply spend more time with Betty? If he wasn't going to be crying in front of other people, then that might suggest that he had an ulterior motive for those crying times that he had with her. Back to the original question, what do you do when an employee starts crying during a one-on-one meeting? Well, hopefully now you might answer that you would hand them some tissues and then wait until they're ready to continue talking. Observing how they respond to your sitting there waiting will help you identify if you are dealing with somebody who is genuinely crying or if there is somebody there who is using it as a tactic. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.